everyone, Amanda Saladin here from Love Life Yarn. Today we're going to be sewing one of these 2-hold buttons onto crochet. You can see it's pretty thick here. It needs to be standing up a little bit from the fabric to allow for that thickness. A lot of times if you sew it on real tight like this, it's not going to have room for your piece to go over it and it's going to not sit properly. So today I'm going to show you how to do this the right way. It just slips through this here. I didn't make a buttonhole for it. Just kind of slips through my chain space. And I'm going to put on the other one right over here. Okay, here's my other button. It said 2 holes and just a regular sharp needle. I like to use a double layer of thread. And I do my knots this way. So I go ahead and get the ends even. And then I wrap it around my finger, making a little bit of an X. And move that so you can see if it'll focus. Make an X right here on your finger. And then take your thumb and roll it off the end and pull it tight. Of course, you don't have to make your knot this way. That one's kind of made a big knot, but it's going to be hidden so it won't matter. And then you've got your thread ready to go. Okay, so I have a yarn needle here, and we're going to need that, or you can use a toothpick. I've seen toothpicks used, and also scissors, of course, to cut your your string. So go ahead and decide your placement of the other button, or wherever you're going to put your button. So I want mine to be even here for my unicorn backpack, and I need it to be lined up, so I think about right there looks good. So try to get it a little closer. Because mine's going to go through a chain space, and I see it's kind of lined up with my eyes here that I've embroidered on. So it's going to go on this stitch right here. Okay, so that way they're nice and even. Okay, so now I'm just going to make sure of my placement here. Okay, this stitch, and I'm going to get out my needle and thread, and I'm going to bring it from the inside so that my knot stays back through. Be careful, of course it's really sharp, and I have poked myself more times than I care to admit. So I've got that in. Now go in one of the holes. Oh, I have a double layer, so sometimes it wants to bind up, and then you're going to go back through the other. Make sure that it doesn't catch on itself, and pull this through. Now the problem comes here when you just sew it real tightly to the fabric. So if you put this yarn needle, I'm trying to keep mine still, but catching just a little bit of the yarn here. If you put this yarn needle in there, or a toothpick, it's going to actually give you that space so that it's not super tight to the fabric. And that way your crocheted piece will be able to sit nicely when you're done. So bring it underneath your yarn needle. Pull it tight. So that yarn needle is going to give it some space, and then go up into the first side that you went through. So for me, I always work left to right. Maybe it's because I'm right-handed. Oh, it's catching on my other button. But I always go up through the left and down through the right. It doesn't really matter, of course. So pull it down. And you're going to want to do this several times. And it does catch on things. That's just the nature of it. And then go through around the yarn needle. And just keep going through. I always do 5 or 6 times. Just keep going around. Okay, and this is what it should look like when it's done. You can see I've gone through, I said, about 6 times, and it's nice and tight. And so now you can remove your yarn needle, and we're going to make what's called a thread shank. So take the thread here and wind it around several times. This gives it a little stem, and then it also is less strain on the original threads that hold the button on. Push it through to the back. Okay, and here's my needle coming out the back. And I'm going to show you how I do a knot in the back. I know this is probably not, the perfect way to do it. You see my original knot there. But I do this too. I was a fashion design major. I have a bachelor's in fashion design, and when I sew like on any type of fabric, this is what I do. I just go ahead around this area and do several little loops. just to keep it in place. And then I'll go through the middle of one of them and do that a couple times. And I've always had my buttons stay on quite securely this way. And so now I'm going to clip, leaving a decent amount. And since I have a double layer, I'm actually going to separate these. And now I'm going to tie them together. So just a normal way, you know, you just put the end, one of the ends through. It's a little tricky because the thread is small, and if it is a trouble, you know, think about making a longer thread, because you can always trim the thread shorter after you tie your knots. And so you tie it, and I always do this 2 or 3 times to really hold it in place. So this is just my method. I'm not sure the proper method there, because we didn't do a whole lot of hand stitching classes in college when I did it. We learned how to use the machine. We did a lot of design stuff because I did apparel design. And then I clip it short. And there's my button. And so you can see, if I bring it down here, adjust my camera, that it's lined up. Let's see, we're going to put it through. So leaving that space with the yarn needle really has helped so that this thick fabric can go through and look like it's nice and easy. It's not pulling tight. And there they are. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Hope it helps you with some of your crochet. I have more than 100 free patterns, including this unicorn backpack, on my website at love.life.yarn.com. So come check us out. I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. See you next time.